Hello, friends. Happy to see you here. It's Maria from Closely with you again. Long time no see, and I'm really happy to come back to series to our live events. And first of all, I would love to thank all of you who sent our team words of support. We appreciate it so much, and it means so much to all of us. And secondly, I would love to apologize in advance for some possible problems with the sound quality because today I'm without my microphone, so it might be sometimes not as, in the studio or in our office as previous. So I apologize in advance, but we'll try to do my best. Basically, our previous event, which was live demo, had a lot of viewers, and that is why we decided to bring to light another round of updates, which is, I must admit, huge. Discuss use cases and, of course, your questions. Make also sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel and to our Facebook community in order to stay up to date with the latest news. By the way, I'll leave the link behind this video, below this video. I believe that a lot of you guys already know me, but maybe we have somebody who joined us for the first time. So let me just very briefly introduce myself. I'm Maria. I work with Closely, sales intelligence platform, and my overall experience in sales spans over 6 years. I deal both with B2B and B2C businesses, and basically my whole life I was involved in sales. And what I personally love in sales is an opportunity to meet amazing people, amazing businesses, and cooperate with them. Today we're going to talk about a lot of things, basically about one more time of campaign added, and I know that a lot of you guys been waiting for it, and this is message to my network campaign. Another update also amount probably top 3 requests. It's about concurrent campaigns, so about opportunity to run multiple campaigns at the same time. Also, we'll speak about additional adjustments, which may seem small, yet they make prospecting at platform usage quite easier, I would say. And also we'll have a look in depth at Closely Surferrrr that was not released yet when we spoke with you last time at our last webinar. And of course, we'll have Q&A session where I will answer your questions, both sent in advance and those that you can ask in our live chat. Before we'll jump into the demo and I will start telling and showing you everything that we added, I would love to share with you a couple of thoughts that came to my mind when I was checking just how does user behavior is changing across LinkedIn platform during this first quarter of the 2022 and the first half of the second quarter. Those changes, they are basically caused partly by the recent social media and sales trends, partly by more global tendencies and processes. However, it might be useful to know about them since we all work with LinkedIn in the more or less way, and our webinars, as you already may have noticed, they're not just about the product itself. They're aiming to highlight LinkedIn capabilities as the platform for prospecting and for building brand awareness. So just briefly in a few words, we all know that so-called creator economy is now worth like billions of dollars. And a lot of the platforms, social platforms, they have invested in creators like TikTok, like Instagram. But LinkedIn seemed to join very recently. And they've started to invest more in creators. They rolled out creator mode and they basically made an opportunity to create amazing content and share it with your audience easily. So basically this allows you to grow your audience and to build your strength as a brand. And it's just the beginning. Before, it was quite intuitive that if you want to make a statement about your business on LinkedIn, or you want to prospect and make direct sales on LinkedIn, you should at least pay attention to filling your profile properly and post some more or less relevant content, I would say. But now, actually, this is time when many people realize the importance of creating a strong personal brand that may associate with your company, with your product, with your service. So basically, LinkedIn is a great way to increase the visibility of your brand, to show your brand, and show your company to your network. And by the way, this is also related to one of the trends, another trend actually of 2022, and this is about increasing your networks in social media. This trend can be applied to any social platform, basically starting from Instagram and then it was Twitter. But on LinkedIn, since this is the business platform, it means that you can enrich your business contacts with up to 30,000 followers in your network. Basically, not followers, but contacts. And this is not it, because you still have a chance to communicate with people who might be considered as your followers, not your connections. So you can move their heads, like just always being there for them, answering their questions, posting content for them, sharing your content with them, and basically increasing that visibility of you, of your person, of your brand, whatever you would like to exposure more. Or of course, if you would love to reach out to them and sell to them directly, this will be the point where they will be prepared to communicate with you better. And we'll talk about the communication with the network in a few minutes, but over here, I just would love to emphasize that one of the biggest social trends for the 2022 is about building and strengthening your personal brand. Regardless of the fact, if you are a CEO, if you are a manager, if you are another company representative, or you just you are a personal contributor, you are an entrepreneur. So you should work toward establishing authority on social media and especially on LinkedIn. You should gain the target audience trust, attract their attention, and then organically direct them towards your product. And just please think about this when you will be planning your online presence on LinkedIn, when you will be planning your content strategy, your engagement strategy with your community, with your prospects, because a year ago, only 3% of people, of LinkedIn users, they post some content time to time. And this year, almost everybody realized that it's just not enough anymore just to have a page on LinkedIn and make some outreach, or just to post some time to time some content. So now it's more about really building a strong personal brand. And speaking about engaging with your current network, let's recap a couple of things. So basically, your first degree LinkedIn connections refer to the people directly in your network. It's quite simple. And one way someone can become a direct connection is if you add them and they accept your connection request, or vice versa. So somebody sent you a connection request and you just accepted it. In either case, you will be able to view each other's profile and exchange messages for free, which is quite important quite important feature for LinkedIn. Basically, LinkedIn sets that maximum of 30,000 first connection degrees contacts that you might have. All others people will be considered as your followers. They imposed this limit in order to enrich that you really add people whom you know. Of course, knowing 30,000 people is also quite, under question. So we'll leave this to LinkedIn. But basically, if you want to make most of this platform, whom you would love to continue your communication further, then in this case, you will stay on their radars, and they will pay attention to the content you are sharing, and they simply, you will be visible in their network. Also, you can add people who were not interested or who replied with a kind of objection like later, for example, again, to be visible to them. Another great way to enrich your network with highly relevant audience, the third one, is to scrape it from topic-related events, posts, or groups. If a person is actively engaging there, it is likely he or she will be also active in your network. Of course, if you have something interesting to propose. Well, and once you have reached the point, you would love to start actively approaching your current network with some kind of an offer. This is where automated campaigns will be extremely useful. The essence of this is to segment your network and create personalized and tailored messages to grab attention of your future customers. You may use your target list to personalize every aspect of the message to their current needs and pain points. The purposes of launching an automated campaign to your network, they may vary according to your needs, and we will speak about them in details a bit later. But basically, it can be any kind of a content like introduction, sale pitches, announcements, invitation to events, to groups, etc., content sharing. The aim here is that people are more likely to respond to you when you are already in their connections and you are not a kind of a stranger. Say, so a person who's just approaching and sending the pitch from the very beginning. And therefore, if you are a personality they have already seen in their connections, the chance they will respond to you is much higher. Of course, if you had a chance to engage with them, I would say properly, like commented their content, for instance, or you have at least liked it. So in this case, the chance that they will respond to you even increases because you engaged with them already before sending any kind of the messages. And this is where we are going to closely to have a little bit more detailed look at my network campaign. So basically it is located at the same window where all campaigns are. All you have to do is to click to message my network campaign and click create. The workflow here is pretty the same. So basically you have to choose campaign name and you have to select the account from which you will be running this campaign. At the next step, you will have to choose audience according to filters that we have here. For example, according to job title, according to company, or according to location. You can choose, of course, all lists of the contents, but I would recommend you to segment again in order to reach better results because your messages won't be relevant in the same manner to all your networks. So therefore, I would recommend you to segment your audience according to some kind of a filter. In this field, you also have an opportunity to check whether people were added to another campaigns already and exclude them. You can exclude them by simply clicking action button, exclude from campaign. In the section with the text, there is obviously a connection message is missing because we already add this person to our connection. So you may start writing your follow-ups. We don't have templates here yet because it's just really custom message that you have to type to create on your own. Variables are also available here for to be used, and you can add unlimited number of the follow-ups with any delay. So once you will save your campaign as a draft or save and start it now, it will be available in the main dashboard, and you can check the statistic of this campaign right in your dashboard. So basically, what kind of information in terms of statistic is available right now? So you can check how many messages were sent and how many replies did you get to those messages. One more thing I would love to share with you in advance, that very soon there will be added an opportunity to filter your campaigns according to their type and to their status. And by type, I mean that you will be able to filter out campaigns that belong only to connection campaigns, or only to invite by email campaigns or to my network campaigns. All this, of course, in terms of both in terms of all accounts that you have linked to Closely account or for one LinkedIn account. And you will also be able to sort out the campaign based on their status. Whether it's active campaign, whether it's post campaign, finished, or campaign that received some kind of error, and therefore you have to pay a close attention to this campaign. So basically, and one more thing I would love to share with you also in advance, maybe too much in advance, but I just can't keep silent as it really looks great. In the next update, I hope it will be soon, we're planning to add campaign drills with more detailed statistic that will provide you with the conversions, that will provide you with more insight regarding statistics. So it really looks great. So just stay tuned for more updates on this matter. Well, I have also received a question regarding the my network campaign, whether it's possible to exclude a person if there was a previous communication with them, not in the campaign. So at this point, it is possible to exclude person only manually. So if you know exactly whom would you like to exclude from this campaign, so in this case you can have a look, find this person and exclude it manually, or you can exclude people that are added to another campaign. So in this case, even if, let's imagine situation, you have launched a connection campaign and a person already accepted your invitation, but did not reply to your follow-up message yet. In this case, you will see this person in a list and you will be also able to exclude it in order to prevent that kind of communication overlapping. So far, there are two ways that you can exclude people from my network campaign. So as I mentioned before, you can use this campaign for basically any needs that you have based on your goals. Let's have a look at some most possible use cases and see what we can share with our network. First of all, it's about updates, of course, because when your product has some kind of huge or small but exciting update, you always want to share it with your customer. You always want to share it with your prospects as well. And basically, if you are acting on LinkedIn, of course, you can make a post about this. You can post some content with the description, maybe with the pictures or the videos, etc. But to approach your connection and send them a personalized message about these updates is even a better idea. Why? Because if you know exactly that this particular slice of audience will benefit directly from this update, then this is really a good idea to approach them with the personalized message sequence, and tell them in details about this particular update and show them how they can benefit from it. So in this case, it's not like spread approach, like you're just posting a post and hoping that somebody will see it and react and reach out to you. In this case, it is more targeted because you already asking audience to review those updates, and maybe you will have some answers, some questions, and of course some leads. Secondly, it's about sales pitches. It's super obvious here. I won't stop for long. It's just what I would love to mention here briefly. Coming back to the first part of my speech today. Right now, it's not only about sending pitches because people are receiving them daily, many of them actually. And what you have to do is that you have to nurture your leads, nurture your connections with your content, with your personality. So you have to build that online presence. And in this manner, your sales pitches to your network will be like, organically. They will look organically. Also, the third point I would love to emphasize on is about different invitations. Different because you can apply this kind of approach basically to a lot of things, like to groups, communities, events. So basically, if you are building, for instance, a group, if you are building online community, then of course you can just filter out, sort out your some slices of audience from your connections, and think about how can you present your online community to this particular slice of audience? How can you invite them and send them those messages? The same with the events, for example. Events, maybe like a variety of events like online presentation, webinars are also great idea to attract audience to you, to your brand. So just make sure that you have an idea whom you would love to reach to. So based on the title, for example, yeah, the title is a great idea, because if you're having a webinar, for instance, on some kind of a marketing topic, then you may reach out to marketers. If you have webinar regarding business development or sales development, then you have plenty of titles that you can reach to, like sales specialists, managers, account executives, etc. So basically title probably is the best idea, but also the geographical position, the location. If you are holding event, a webinar, or something, some kind of a presentation that relates particularly to some kind of location, it's also a great idea to filter out your connections based on the geographical location. And the last but not least here is about content sharing. Basically, promoting your content is the a huge piece of work, like not less than creating it. And that's another point where your LinkedIn connections can help you to figure things out. Basically, you can send your content to your connections, ask them, for example, politely to review it. You can also ask them for something in return, for example, to read, download your content, to give some comments, some feedbacks. Of course, you can offer like something, in return. For example, you can also review their content, like go to their pages, comment and like. But of course, if you have that time, if your outreach scale, I would say, allow you to do this. But anyway, sharing content on LinkedIn and messages is great idea. So basically, just pay attention to this as well. Those are just like few cases that I described briefly, but I just want to admit that this type of campaign, Message My Network, it really makes communication easier, much easier. For example, if you are growing your community, if you're looking for leads, if you would love to invite people to your events and not do this manually, and you want to benefit from your currently existing network. And as a natural development of this newly introduced type of campaign, another great update comes. Actually, it came, and somebody already have seen it and used it actually. So this is update that allows you to run simultaneously 2 campaigns from one LinkedIn account, and it's called Concurrent Campaigns. So it means that you can run 2 campaigns at a time of the same 2 campaigns at the time of the same type, for example, connection and connection campaign, or of different type. For instance, my network campaign plus connection campaign. It doesn't matter, so it's up to you. Let's go to closely to have a brief look over here. So basically, those campaigns, they will be displayed in your dashboard, and you can see that you can run like 2 campaigns for one closely account at a time. As I mentioned before, you will be able to filter out the active campaigns a bit later using one or all LinkedIn accounts. And basically, I would love to dedicate a few minutes to highlighting the fact that even introducing this feature, we are still staying under LinkedIn limits. So therefore, those campaigns will be running a bit slower. That is all due to the fact that we have to keep the safety first. And anyway, we are staying within this 100 connection requests per week limit if we're speaking about regular connection campaign, because as you already know, invite by email campaign, those connections that you have sent from this campaign, they're not counting into your LinkedIn limits for your account. So basically, this is why this campaign will be running a bit, like concurrent campaigns will be running a bit slower. Yet I personally still love this opportunity because it allows you to expand your network constantly. And also it allows you to run different A/B tests. And by A/B test, I mean that you can run few campaigns at a time and see the results based on different criteria like geography, titles, maybe text of sequences that you've been using, etc. So you can also track this success and conduct A/B test. And by mentioning A/B test, we are moving seamlessly to another update, and I'm happy to inform you that from now on you are able to duplicate your campaigns in order to use the campaigns that already showed you great results and like target more audience with those campaigns that already proved themselves efficient. So basically you can make this much quicker right now, and let's go to closely to have a brief look at this. What you have to do is basically to find a campaign that's already in your dashboard, and in the settings button you will find a duplicate button. Once you will click on it, a complete clone will be created. But you have also a few options for customizing this campaign. By default, this campaign will receive the same name as the predecessor, and you may rename it. And you also may change a LinkedIn account for this campaign if you prefer to run it through different account. It's important to mention that the campaign, that this newly created campaign will be a copy in terms of a campaign type. So basically, if you have duplicated connection campaign, then in this case, you will have plenty of sources that are related to this particular type of campaign. The same with the My Network campaign and the same with invite by email campaign. So for My Network, you will have an option to choose from your connections. And with invite by email campaign, you will have an option to upload CSV file with email addresses. And in this particular case, we are staying under connection request campaign, and we are choosing, for example, CSV file for upload. We are proceeding to the messages. Sorry, I just have another file where the fields are not mapped. Let's just try with the group, for example. So at the messages field, you will have exactly the same messages that you have added to the previous campaign. So this is why if you want change here like anything, you can just simply click on save and next, verify your audience and launch your campaign. This is in case when this campaign already proved itself efficient and you won't change anything like text or number of follow-ups, etc. You just simply proceeding further. In case if you would love to adjust something in this campaign, just simply adjust it in the text and then verify the audience and start the campaign. So again, this campaign will be displayed in your dashboard. All the messages will go to the inbox. So basically, this makes the process of, scaling your outreach much easier because you don't have to add manually those templates, you don't have to add manually those steps of sequence, etc., etc., and each time you want to launch the same sequence. Right now, it's just one button. Okay, not one, but actually one button and few clicks, and you are about to start actually the same campaign but with different audience or maybe with different texts. So basically, As you know, just a small sentence about this. Closely was built for internal usage at first, and therefore a lot of updates, a lot of features that we release, they are related to our own pain points and our own, use cases when we are just having a look and realize that, okay, this feature is missing. It will be very, very useful in this case. And actually, we're coming back to the next update, which is also closely related to the pain points we have experienced ourselves. And it's about, getting that type of a generic answers each time that you send the connection request message. And obviously, you don't want to pitch from the first sentence. You don't want to pitch from the first connection message. And you receive a generic answer like, hello, really nice to connect with you, thank you, and something like this. And it's good on the, on the one side, it's really good because when people reply to you, a reply is always better than silence, and you have a chance to continue that communication, etc. But on the other hand, you have to copy and paste another step from your follow-up, because you know that once you receive a message from the prospect, when you receive a reply to connection message, the sequence will stop. So you will get this answer into your inbox, but then you have to handle it manually. So you have to go to your sequence, to your template, for instance, you have to copy it and then send it manually. So this is where we introduce a very simple, like one button, but actually it makes life of the salespeople, basically of anybody who's using LinkedIn for prospecting and engaging with people, much easier, because we added this button to proceed. Basically, this means when you receive this kind of generic answer, hey, thanks, nice to connect with you, and you click on the proceed button, the next step will be sent automatically. And again, just imagine the situation that you again have received a kind of generic answer. And again, you can click to this button, proceed, and the next step will be sent also automatically. Just make sure that those steps, they are really, related to the conversation voice, so that the next step really suits the conversation. The next update is related to frequently discussed limitation that we had. Before, as you know, you could add maximum 500 users per campaign. And now I'm happy to announce that this limitation has been removed, and now you have more options when you are adding people to, when you are adding audience to some kind of sources. First of all, it's available for connection campaigns, for such sources as LinkedIn search, for both for common search and for sales navigator search, for post engagement, event attendees, group members, import from CSV as well. By default, there were 500 users, but now you can change this value. And for example, you can see at this screenshot that you can add manually another amount of people, for instance 1,000 here, like an example, and you can change this this value from 1 to 2,500 if you're speaking, for example, for sales navigator search with LinkedIn. You can basically just go to the closely. I will show you this live. Let's go with this group. Just simply go to group members, paste the link, proceed to write messages, and verify your audience. What am I going to show right now is that there are really a lot of people in this link, because I just copied link to one of the biggest groups on LinkedIn, one of the biggest communities. And you can collapse this window, for instance, and you can go to close the dashboard, and the campaign will continue to search. And once the search will be done, and we will be able to verify the audience, you can continue and start. You can come back to the campaign and start it basically. And what I would love to emphasize here on is that the more people you have in this search, in this link, for example, the longer it will take. So for instance, if you're seeing, the message that your audience is still being processed, just don't worry. This is not a kind of mistake, not a kind of bug. It just sometimes is needed in order to process this audience. The more people you will add, the longer it takes. One more small yet meaningful improvement. We added automatic removal of special characters and emojis, because it could cause some kind of inconvenience when, for instance, prospect has emoji, of some kind of special character, and when you use a variable like first or last name on LinkedIn in your messages, naturally prospect will receive your variable with the same special character or with the same emoji as he or she added to her or his name. And this may cause some kind of confusion, because in this case your message obviously seems automatic. And happy to say that we added this automatic removal, so therefore no emojis, no special characters, no more in your messages. So this issue is already behind us. We are moving next, and this one, the one improvement that I briefly announced is about filtering, opportunity to filter campaign by types and statuses. I have already mentioned this. This one will be released really soon. And moving next, we will speak a bit in details about Closely Surfer, because the last time we spoke with you, it was not yet released, so I just showed you, some screenshots and explain how does it work. And today we will speak a bit more in detail. So Closely Surfer is already live now. You can upload it from Chrome, download it from Chrome extension store. And basically, what is Closely Surfer? This is an extension that helps you to find and scrape needed information from LinkedIn profiles. It saves some time, because basically scraping techniques, they involve, they can involve manual work. So you have to look for the prospect's data on LinkedIn, for instance, and then fill out it manually. And there are plenty of tools that allow you to do this automatically. So Closely Surfer, its main aim to help you find contacts of a prospect right on the page, right on the profile page. And also, it allows you to save people from LinkedIn searches to CSV files. Let's go to LinkedIn directly. Once you have downloaded Chrome extension, you will see that button right on the LinkedIn. Regardless of the page that you are visiting, you will see this Closely Surfer button. So what does it allow you to do? If we are speaking about prospect data, once you are visiting some profile, and if we have some kind of information related to this prospect, including emails, personal work email, or phone number, we will be able to show you that we have this information right on the page of Closely Surfer. So for instance, in this case, you see that for this particular page, we have 2 emails, and you can reveal them using 1 credit. I would love to remind you that regardless of how many emails or phone numbers we will find with Closely, we will charge you with only 1 credit, and each Closely Surfer user have 150 free credits monthly. So basically, you can reveal this contact data and use it for your outreach. So in case if you are surfing on the LinkedIn and you see that, wow, there is a prospect, there is a person whom I would love to reach, whose contact data I would love to get, you can try to find it through Closely Surfer. Just simply click on the extension, and on the left window, on the left panel, you will see whether we are able to display this information or not. And later on, you can decide, would you love to reveal it or next time. The next thing that Closely Surfer actually do is it allows you to export people to CSV file from the searches. It works quite simple. So once you enter LinkedIn search, you can use additional filters to make your search more precise, and you have that list of the people. You can export them to CSV file. There is a limitation of maximum 1,000 people that you can export at a time. So in case if there is really huge amount of people, of prospects whom you would love to save, to export, I would recommend you to use different filters and to do this in the bulks. So for example, this time you are just exporting account manager, using the title account manager in the United States, working in operations department. You can change, for instance, this filter and change it to sales department. You can add precise city within the United States in order to get that, another precise bulk of the prospect, because of this limitation that you can upload only up to export only up to 1,000 prospects per time. And basically like some kind of some roadmaps of using this tool. The first one I already explained. So you can basically search through LinkedIn, and if you're visiting a profile and you see that this is the person I would love to find his or her contact details, you just simply click on Closely Surfer and see whether we are able to find that and display that contact data for this particular prospect. So you can dig into this contact data of the prospects. And secondly, of course, you can use this both in your LinkedIn campaigns. You can use this in your email campaigns, because we display here emails. So this is like a way of using this contact data that you get. Also, you can export the data, you can export prospect lists and use this in Closely for LinkedIn outreach or in any other automation tool. Because when we export people to CSV, we are able to save their LinkedIn URLs, to save their first names, last names, title, etc. So a lot of variables as well. And this all can be also used in your LinkedIn outreach, because there are no emails in this kind of search. Sometimes I received a question whether we are collecting also emails in this kind of search. So over here, we collect only LinkedIn URLs and other publicly available data like first name, last name, etc. So basically, you can also use emails that you managed to found with Closely Surfer in order to connect with people using invite by email feature and increase your networks faster and more efficiently, because as we already mentioned, invite by email invitations, they do not count in that weekly limit. Okay, so we've spent pretty much time discussing all of those updates. You see that we have actually a lot of them. I hope you guys enjoyed it. And now it's time to proceed to some of your questions that we received. So the first one, and I have a lot of variation of this question. We'll also cover them today. So the first one, can I use my LinkedIn account while running an automated campaign? My LinkedIn account, it means that probably it means that can you use it, for instance, for connecting with other people on your own? So the answer is yes, but carefully. First of all, it is not recommended to use another automation solution. For example, another automation solution for LinkedIn outreach, because this will increase a chance to be detected by LinkedIn. And secondly, try to stand under those 250 actions per day, which is a kind of a limit announced by LinkedIn for legally performed actions. So I would recommend to use your LinkedIn account. Of course, you can just read your news feed. You can also comment and engage with other people on posts, in content, but I do not recommend to use your LinkedIn account for outreach, both with other automated solution apart closely or for manual outreach. The second question is that, can I export more than 1,000 contacts with Closely Surfer if I have Sales Navigator? That's a good question. And actually, right now, Surfer supports common LinkedIn search, but the Sales Navigator search option also will be added soon. So stay up to date with us. Should I withdraw pending requests? That's a nice question, and we receive a lot of requests about please add some feature that will automatically remove pending requests. And here is a question why I should do this actually. So this is a good question, and it is strongly recommended to withdraw pending invitations. Why actually? If you have like one or two of them or three of them, that's not a big trouble. That's not going to bring your account, and link it in jail itself. No. But if you have a lot of pending requests, like literally maybe hundreds of them, it depends on the scale of your outreach, of speed with which you are expanding your network, then in this case, it influences the health of your LinkedIn account. Basically, LinkedIn can consider your account as spammy because a lot of people do not accept your requests. So therefore, a lot of the pending requests, it increases the chance to to be considered as a spammer by LinkedIn. So you don't need this. Therefore, it's better to withdraw pending requests. And again, the second point, it's not so valuable in terms of direct influence on your LinkedIn account. But anyway, I think it's you have to pay attention to this. It won't be that annoying to people to receive that continuous reminders, because if a person missed your invitation and received like the second reminder, then okay, it could be okay, he or she can accept, maybe they just missed your invitation. But if they receive numerous reminders, like the second one, the third one, then it can be like quite annoying to people. So it's better to withdraw those invitations and just try again like in some time. So this is basically the answer. And regarding the feature that we continuously receive requests for, automatical removal of pending requests, it also will be added probably to Closely Surfer soon. Next question, can I expand my network even faster using both Closely and contacts import in LinkedIn? Basically, it is related to the fact that it is allowed by LinkedIn, as you remember, to upload a list of the email addresses directly into LinkedIn and find people there and connect with them using their email addresses. This is just the same as invite by email feature, but on LinkedIn, there are two issues. The first one is that on LinkedIn, this feature works in a bit strange manner. Sometimes it just provides you with a list of people that were not presented in your initial list. So it's a kind of a random profiles that LinkedIn just like gathers together and propose you to connect with them. I don't know what's the logic of that, but that's not only my experience, that's experience of my colleagues as well, and that's experience of some of our users as well. And the second point, that on LinkedIn, you can't send follow-ups. So basically, you will upload this list, you will connect with people. Let's hope that there will be people really from your list, but no follow-ups. So you have to communicate on your own later with them. But actually, it's not prohibited. So you can run automated campaigns from Closely, for example, and you can try to upload the list with the emails to LinkedIn directly. However, we're coming back to the first question that we received, that it's not quite recommended to use your LinkedIn account for outreach on the same time using some kind of automated solution. because it could be considered by LinkedIn as a suspicious activity. You can try this. Actually, you can try with some small amount, small portion of the contacts of the emails and see what will happen. But this will be considered at your own risk. Next question is about IP addresses. I'm not based in the US, however, closely uses USA-based IP addresses. Is that going to bring my account into trouble? And again, this is the variation of the first question as well. Am I allowed to use my LinkedIn account for both using closely or other automated solution and on my own? So if you are not continuously, log in, log out, to your account, in LinkedIn and in closely, so you do not mix, very frequently both your account on LinkedIn and closely account that is related to your LinkedIn account, then this is not going to bring your account into trouble. Again, try to eliminate all activities related to manual outreach. Try to eliminate the number of the connection requests that you are sending manually and all the messages that you are exchanging with people using your own LinkedIn on your phone or on your computer. You can also exchange messages if we are speaking about communication with the people who are currently in your campaigns. You can communicate with them right through closely inbox. It's better to do this than just to log into your LinkedIn account and try to communicate with them on your LinkedIn account directly. So the question is, not the question, but the answer to this question is that we did not experience any kind of the, troubles related to this, but anyway, as the safety is the priority, it's better to eliminate all outreach activities using your own LinkedIn account. Well, I believe that this is it for today. We're almost run out of time with you. Yeah. And I hope you guys actually enjoyed this video, you enjoyed this presentation, and most of all, you enjoyed this huge round of updates that we released and that will be released soon. I've just revealed, a couple of things, but we'll definitely cover them later once the time will come. So we'll devote posts and videos and another live event to this. But right now, thank you for watching. You are welcome to use all of those newly introduced features in your Closely accounts. And again, if you have any kind of questions or suggestions, you are welcome to reach out to us through email. You can see my email on the screen right now. And also welcome to our community where we constantly exchange ideas, feedback, and always happy to hear from you. Thank you very much, guys. It was a pleasure. Take care. Bye.